This PowerPoint slide presentation is showing the traffic island chaos around Brentwood. This is approaching Brentwood from Ongar on the A128. This is at the entrance to Kelvedon Hatch. We've got a traffic island here that's completely unilluminated. Further south we've got another traffic island that's completely unilluminated. This is what they look like with no headlight. The entrance to Coxdye Green Road, we've got a traffic sign, there's no light at the top of the pole. And towards Brentwood at the end of Larchwood Gardens, we've got another traffic island that's been knocked down I don't know how many times, and now all it's got is one single cone facing the traffic coming from Ongar. This is an unilluminated keep left sign at the end of Costard Manor Road, and this is a new post you put up at the end of Ongar Road, but no light on it. This is approaching Brentwood, another traffic island. The lamppost has been knocked down and not replaced. And this is another one with the light not on the top of the pole at all. This is approaching Brentwood from Ingatstone and at the start of the 40-mile-an-hour limit. We've got an unilluminated keep left sign there. The lamppost has been knocked down and not replaced. This is another traffic island with no light on the top of the pole. This is approaching Shorter Avenue in Shelmfield and no light on the top of the again. And this island at the end of Shorter Avenue, I sent you a picture of this 2 years ago with just a single pole facing the traffic coming from Chelmsford, and that's now been knocked down 2 weeks ago. You've got the reflective sign there facing the traffic, but on the back there's no reflection at all. This island is completely invisible at night, and in mist or fog or driving rain it's very, very dangerous. This is approaching Brentwood. You'd expect the traffic islands where people are crossing to be kept up to date, but this lamppost has been knocked down. You've just got some cones surrounding. And this one just at the end of Sawyers Hall Lane, well, you can see for yourself it's completely disgusting. I think this was the site of a fertility 2 years ago, so there's no real excuse for this not being replaced. This is further south on the A128 at the end of Running Waters, another complex that's unilluminated. This lamppost in the middle of this sign at the end of Running Waters, I think has been knocked down for 2 years, and the same with this one in the same place. This is the new traffic island you've just built in Herringate. Very commendable, but within half a mile of that, going towards the halfway house, you've got a traffic island that's completely unilluminated, extremely dangerous in the bad weather. And this is another traffic island south of the halfway house, completely unilluminated. And this is approaching Station Road on the A128. Keep left sign's been knocked down, just replaced by cones. Did have a board on it, but that's gone. This traffic island at the end of Station Road in West Haldon was knocked down probably 2 years ago and has never been replaced. This is coming from Billericay on the Billericay Road, traffic island, no light on the top of the pole. These cheap reflective signs you've replaced the keep left signs with are pretty useless. At night you can't see them at all, especially when they get dirty. This is another example of this. You can see the dirt running down the front of it. The keep left sign at the back of it is unilluminated. The light at the top of the wall's not got a light in it. This is another example of the same stretch of road, traffic island. Keep left sign's been knocked down, just replaced by a cone. And this is another one. You can see here the reflective signs are the cheaper reflective signs are just pretty useless. They don't reflect, especially when they're as dirty. This is another example. Keep left sign's been knocked down. What you can see is the back of the reflective sign. And at night this is nearly invisible. This is another example, completely unilluminated traffic island. The keep left signs are unilluminated, no light on the pole. This is the traffic island at the end of Wash Road. It's been knocked down. There was a sign there, but that's been knocked down. And this is the end of Hanging Hill Lane. Got the keep left sign there laying on the traffic island. Going towards Shenfield, we've got a keep right traffic island that's unilluminated. And at the end of Shenfield Road, there's a level crossing here with the keep left sign's been knocked down. There was a sign there and that's gone. This is approaching Brentwood from the Alsett Cop. This is the Alsett Hall turn off. Got keep left sign here at the end of the traffic island complex, unilluminated, and the one at the other end is unilluminated. It looks quite bright, but I'm using a light enhancing camera so you can actually see something, because without that you would see nothing at all. This is another traffic island as you travel up the A128. Keep left sign just completely missing, and this is another one that's unilluminated. It's shielding the one behind it, so when you're approaching from Alsett you can't see anything. This is another example of your reflective signs that you replace the illuminated keep left signs with. At night they're just almost invisible, especially when they get dirty. There's no lamp at the top of this pole. And this is the traffic island as you approach the end of Dosegate Lane, again unilluminated. This is the keep left sign at the end of Dosegate Lane that's been knocked down and repaired. And this is another one on the A128 travelling towards Brentwood, no light at the top of the pole, keep left signs unilluminated. This is so dangerous. This is another example. The keep left sign that's facing Brentwood has been knocked down completely. The one facing Alsett is unilluminated. This is another example on the same stretch of road, no light at the top of the pole. And another one, the front keep left sign is unilluminated and there's no light at the top of the pole. This is an example of some of the 30-mile-an-hour limit signs around Brentwood. This is approaching Billericay. There's only a 30 limit on one side of the road. I'd like your comment on this, because I think if the signage is incorrect, as here, where you should have a 30-mile-an-hour sign on both sides of the road, I think this invalidates the 30-mile-an-hour limit all through Billericay. So I think a clever lawyer would probably get his client off if he was prosecuted for speeding in Billericay. This is another sign that's only on one side of the road. This is the exit of the Tilbury Road onto the A128. This invalidates, I think, the 50 limit down the A128. And this is the 30-mile-an-hour signs approaching Herringate from Brentwood. The sign on the left has got a lighting rig on it, but there's no light. The regulations state that where 30-mile-an-hour signs are illuminated, they must both be equally illuminated. And I think a clever lawyer would probably invalidate any 30-mile-an-hour prosecutions in this area. And this is the same thing coming from the halfway house towards Brentwood into Herringate. The right hand 30-mile-an-hour limit has got a light on it. The left hand 30-mile-an-hour limit is invisible at night. There is a junction box behind it, but there is no lighting rig at all on top of it. And this is the actual 30-mile-an-hour limit as you approach Shenfield from Billericay. You can't see the sign because it's a bit bright, but you have erected a pole on the left to replace the sign that's been missing there for 2 years. But I think anyone that's had a prosecution for speeding in Brentwood in the last 2 years probably could, with a clever lawyer, get off that, because these signs must be you must not just make a 30-mile-an-hour limit, you must maintain the signs correctly, otherwise it's not correct. And this is the 30-mile sign into Wash Road, where you've got the new housing development. There's only a sign on one side of the road, so that's another illegal speed limit. And coming from Wash Road into Roman Road, there's a 50 on the other side of this, and that invalidates the 50 limit along the Roman Road.